Is a recession coming our way? And if so, does that mean the housing market will crash? There's some pretty heavy hitters predicting a recession in 2023.
According to Goldman Sachs, the U.S. could be headed for another recession, saying the Federal Reserve will have a hard time cooling inflation. According to reporting by Bloomberg, Goldman puts the odds of this happening at maybe 5%.
35%, so that's not exactly a sure thing. Deutsche Bank says pretty much the same thing, gives it a little higher odds. So if these predictions play out, how will it affect the housing market? That's the topic today, so stay tuned. I'm Jana Classy, and my husband Paul and I are realtors here in the Eastern Panhandle with Snyder Bailey and Associates. One of the main reasons behind the recession predictions for 2023 is the fear that the Fed is going to raise interest rates so high that it will drive the economy into a recession. And the first thought is that a recession equals housing crash, just like it did in 2007. But 2007 was an anomaly. The three recessions before that did not see a glut of foreclosures, did not have a big impact on home prices. So here's what happened in those three recessions. The recession in the early 80s saw home prices go up 4%. During this time, mortgage rates were 14 to 28%. There was an oil crisis. Unemployment was 10%. So the economy was in pretty bad shape, yet home prices went up. The recession in the 1990s saw a slight drop, less than 1% in home prices. The dot-com recession in 2001 saw home prices go up 4.8%. So as far as home prices go, if supply is lower than demand, then prices tend to go up, even in a recession. Then came the 2007 Great Recession, which lasted 2 years and was caused by really loose lending practices. Loans were given to just about anybody that wanted to buy a house. So the market was flooded with buyers and demand soared. The problem was that the loans that were awarded to these buyers were doomed to fail, and that was the main cause of that recession. Since then, laws have been put in place to avoid that happening again. So it's less likely that the buyers in the current market go into foreclosure because they are more carefully vetted. The current market is also seeing a big unbalance between supply and demand, so there's more buyers than homes to sell them. But it's not because there's a lot of buyers that will likely go into foreclosure. The reason is the shortage of supply. If that catches up to demand, then more balance will result and price increases will level out. If there's a rise in interest rates, that may dampen demand, but it could also further reduce supply. Here's why. A lot of homeowners refinance to a low rate, 3% or less, so they are going to be reluctant to sell and buy another home at 5%. So how that interest rate hike shakes out as far as demand versus supply will determine what happens to home prices. Even if interest rates go up, there's some good reasons that demand for homes will stay strong. Homeownership is a strong part of our culture, so lots of people are willing to allocate a larger part of their budget to a house payment. Rents tend to go up every year, so a home mortgage is a hedge against inflation. Plus, millennials are just entering the market, so that's a whole new crop of buyers looking to become homeowners. The ideal situation is a strong buyer demand with an equal number of homes available, a balanced market. If we experience something like a severe depression, then all bets are off. Everything's going to be affected, including the housing market. But regular run-of-the-mill recessions don't have a huge influence on home prices. Real estate indicators are saying we should see a light recession in 23 and a slowdown in home price growth, not a drop. Here's a Reuters poll that says about the same thing.
On the left side of the graph, you can see their price predictions as measured by the Case-Shiller Home Price Index. And the median response expected a 10.3% increase in home prices for the full year of 2022. And looking out into the future, they're expecting a 5% increase in 2023 and a 4.1% increase in 2024.
So if you buy a house in 22, the price, according to this poll, will still increase in 23 and 24, but at a lower rate, around 4 to 5% instead of 10%. according to that poll. So there's still good reasons to buy a house. The main consideration on timing should be when you are ready financially and logistically, when you have money saved for emergencies, stable job. If you're staying put for a while, it's unlikely that we'll see homes appreciate as much in 2023 so that you can sell it after a few months and still make a profit. But over the long run, we know that home prices do increase. You can count on that. So that's it for me today. If you have any thoughts about this, love to hear them in the comments below. If you'd like to contact me, there's a link below in the comment section where you can do that. Or you can call us 304-264-2828. And if you're in the market to buy a home, then the video there to the right should give you some good information about that. It's how to buy a home in a seller's market. All right. Thanks for tuning in, and you have a great week. I'll see you next week. Bye.